panels. Imagine if we can do the war without wasting a lot of army life. Imagine that robot like Terminator that more fast, with no fear and has without no life. They can replace us as a human to do the war in the war zone. Of course, it's more effective, ladies and gentlemen. This house prefer a world where militaries invest more in technology, e.g. drones, artificial intelligence, and IT, rather than on their human resource and conventional weaponry like tanks or guns. Based on this motion, the motion want us to invest more. The motion in the government side, we want to make invest more in drones, AI, and IT. It's all a weapon without using a human power directly. It's a weapon without using a human directly in the war zone. And in the other side, like the tanks and gun, it still need a human to control it directly on a war zone. So the difference between these two things is really clearly different, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if we see the status quo in America already using this kind of technology on a war zone in Iraq. They are using the vehicle without a driver. So it's a vehicle that have a gun, but there is no human inside of the vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. So, and also and in that case, they are using that vehicle to control the area of the America. So it's more safety because if the human secure that area, there still have a possibility of that human get killed by the Iraq, ladies and gentlemen, and or the other or the enemy. And also in China, they're launching a Shark Claw 1. That's the name of the robotic army to help a war. And it's an early step to do all of that, to do the technology war, ladies and gentlemen. We are believe that technology war is a better than using a human war, ladies and gentlemen. Why we can say like that? Because we have a 3 point of argument, which is the first is it's consume less fatalities of it's consume less victim, ladies and gentlemen. And also in the second point, we have a point of this kind of war is more safe, ladies and gentlemen. And also in the third argument, we have about globalization, which is be abreast of the time. Now going to our first argument, why it consume less of fatalities or victim. Let's just think, if the human replaced with technology, the human is not doing the war directly, and they are more safe because they are just controlled that robot. They are controlled that robot without going to the war zone, ladies and gentlemen. So it means they are more safe. Because the chance of their get killed or get shot is less, ladies and gentlemen. And also, even if why I can say it consume less facilities. So let's just think, if someday there are like America versus like Palestine or Iraq. America using technology, but the Iraq is not. So there's of course still less a victim of that war, because if the America, because let's just imagine if they're both still using the human power in the war zone. Of course they both will get killed, like they both will get a lot of victim. But imagine that if the America using a robot than a human, so only the Iraq will get the victim, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I still say this is more safe, and this is more less victim, because why not, if we can reduce the victim, right? And also that's the sample. So that's why we are prefer to world militaries invest more in technology. And then the second point is it's more safe. Why I can say like that? Because let's just think, robot can be programmed to not kill a civilians, or robot can be programmed to keep the humanitarian law in a war. So but in the other side, we can see the human still cannot keep the humanitarian law. Why I can say like that? Because we can see the example in Israel. In Israel, the Israel army killed the civilian people, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it's not of course it's not suitable with the humanitarian law. So that's why we are prefer to the robot, so we can program them to not kill the civilians, to keep the humanitarian law. Because of what? Because the human is still cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen. Because we can already see the example in the Israel. And also I think this is more logic, because we can if we can the word or the humanitarian law can also do the rule that every robot should be programmed by a standard. What the standard is, the humanitarian law. So that's why I think this is more safe. It's truly happen in the future, ladies and gentlemen. And also in our last argument, be abreast of the time, or we can say the globalization. Why I can say like this? Because every country should be prepared for the future, ladies and gentlemen. Something like this, of course, the something like this will be happen, ladies and gentlemen. Technology war will happen. Let's just believe that, because we can see that the America and China already start. So every country should be invest too, because if the only America and China start to invest in this technology, the other country will be less of the power, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why the other country must be prepared, must be invest more in technology, like what the motion said. So that's why we are prefer the country to invest more in technology, because they must to prepare for the future, ladies and gentlemen. Because something like this will be happen. Just believe in this, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why overall we are as a government, we are prefer militaries invest in more in technology, because it's consume less victim, and also it's more safe. And also the last is they should prepare for the future, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why we are propose.